The third and last of Fear Street's ambitious trio of films, titled Fear Street Part 3, 1666, takes us back to the 17th century to uncover the root of Shadyside's problems. It reveals the cursed history of Shadyside. According to legend, whoever reunites Sarah Fier's skeletal hand with her body could potentially end the murders in Shadyside. But when Dina does that, she's transported to the year 1666, where she watches the events responsible for their contemporary afflictions unfold. This bloated finale, that's running almost 2 hours long, perfunctorily ties up the narrative loose ends with little finesse or energy. It's floundering as the series comes to a conclusion. It's disappointing after the promise of a change in setting to see these two devolve into mere chase sequences. This third movie also mostly feels like an obligation. The first half of this movie is a noble experiment in immersing viewers in the history of a place instead of relying on thin flashbacks. The film introduces the major figures of the town, engulfs us in local politics, and gives us glimpses of daily life. But it's hard to feel anything more than apathy toward the townspeople, whose attitudes toward difference grow redundant and tired after a while. This 1666 settings only accounts for about half of the movie. Sarah Fier is Hank, and we cut back to 1994 because after all, this is less a movie than a season finale. Dina has to use knowledge gained from her trip back in time to save Shadyside, putting the curse to rest. Unfortunately, 1994's is not as engaging as its past, and we're back to the mediocre slasher we started with. The acting still ranges from uneven to indifferent. The revelation is not really impressive, as the obvious becomes obvious. Our loving couple don't have much chemistry, the brother doesn't have enough acting chops, and only few folks here manage to convince us of the high stakes involved. The connection we are meant to feel for their characters is never established because of the thin performances and the choppy narrative, and the attempts at pathos never pay off. The movie then suffers in a long third act, which can't help but come off as anticlimactic. Overall, this is almost as bad as the first one. We do not recommend this movie at all.